Okay, so today we're going to be talking about section 5.1. We're going to be continuing it this time. Yesterday we were talking about classifying a triangle, and today we're going to be talking about the angles of triangles. So go to find your notes. I think at the top of your notes, it'll say 5.1b and then angles of triangles. Okay, and just follow along with me here. So we're going to start with the triangle angle sum theorem. So the triangle angle sum theorem states that the sum of the measures of the angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So here's angle A, angle B, angle C. No matter what, if I take angle A plus angle B plus angle C, it will equal 180 degrees every time, no matter what. So for instance, I'll go down here and do example 1 real quick. I have that one of the angles is 24 degrees, another angle is 37 degrees, and then of course this angle I need to find is angle 1. Well, I know when I add up all the angles, it equals 180. So I can do 24 plus 37 plus the measure of angle 1 equals 180. Add these together. So 24 plus 37 is going to give us, let's see here, like 61 degrees. And 61 plus the measure of angle 1 equals 180. Then subtract 61 on both sides. And we get the measure of angle 1 is equal to 119 degrees. Okay, so that's how that triangle angle sum theorem works. Then we have, so that's for the inside of the triangle. So if all the angles you have are on the inside of your triangle, you add them up, set them equal to 180, and you're good to go. Now we have the exterior angle theorem. So the exterior angle theorem says, if I have an angle that's on the outside of my triangle, so notice what I did is I just extended one side of my triangle here, and that forms an angle on the outside. Then that exterior angle is always equal to the sum of the two non-adjacent interior angles. So what does that mean? It means that angle 1 here on the outside of the triangle is equal to the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 3. So we add these two angles here, set it equal to angle 1. So measure of angle 1 equals the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 3. So let's look down at problem 2 next. So problem 2 has this exterior angle here, and then the two non-adjacent interior angles. So the two angles on the inside of the triangle that are farthest away from angle 1, the one I need, are 76 and 52 degrees. So I know that the measure of angle 1, my exterior angle, equals 76 plus 52. And 76 plus 52 gives us 128. So the measure of angle 1 equals 128. Okay, let's look at that in a slightly different problem now on number 3. So on number 3, it's also an exterior angle problem. The reason I know that is because if you look at the inside of the triangle here, I only know this angle and this angle. I don't know this third inside angle. I could find it by subtracting from 180 right here, but this exterior angle theorem allows me to get the angle I need over here pretty quickly by using that. So I'm going to show you how to do that here. I know this is my exterior angle. It's the one on the outside, 104 degrees. So 104 equals the far inside angles when you add them up and set them to 1 or 2, the exterior. So this is going to be the measure of angle 1 plus 79. And then I have to just solve for the measure of angle 1. Well, to do that, I would just subtract 79 on both sides. Okay. And then 104 minus 79 gives us 25. So we get 25 degrees here. So those are some basic problems. A lot of the time, though, we're going to be faced with problems that obviously on 4 through 7 look a little bit more complicated. So what I like to do is just go through and figure out any angles I can first without using triangle properties, and then go back and fill in with triangle properties. So one thing you're going to want to make note of is that when maybe you have space up above here, I certainly don't, but whenever you have a straight side or a straight line, remember, if you have two angles that are next to each other like those two, they add up to equal 180. We're going to use that a lot, supplementary angles, okay? So let's look down here at number 4. So on number 4, right away, I see that 84 and angle 3 make a straight line, right? So they're 180 degrees. So I could take 180 minus 84, which gives us 96 degrees for angle 3, 96 degrees. Okay, and now I'm left with some triangles I can work with. So I'll kind of maybe highlight to make it easier to see here. Give me just a second to change up my color. Okay, so this triangle over here, this blue one, I can see I've got two angles that I know. One is 66 degrees and one is 84 degrees. And then I have angle 1. So the measure of angle 1 plus 66 plus 84, each of those angles is inside of the triangle. So that means when I add them up together, it equals 180. So that should equal 180 altogether here. Okay, well, 66 plus 84 is going to give us, I think, 150. Let me think here. Yeah, 150. So measure of angle 1 plus 150 equals 180. Subtract 150 on both sides. And we get the measure of angle 1 equals 30 degrees. Okay. And then finally, I can find the measure of angle 2. I couldn't remember which angle we have to find. So for the measure of angle 2 here, I'm going to go just highlight it like this. Hold on for just a sec here. So that's this triangle over here. There we go. And to figure out the measure of angle 2, I'm working inside of that orange triangle. So I know this angle is 96, this is 43, this is angle 2. So I'm going to take the measure of angle 2 plus 96 plus 43 and set that equal to 180. I'm inside of a triangle. When I'm working inside a triangle, angles equal 180. 96 plus 43 is going to give us 139, I want to say 139. Yeah. So this is the measure of angle 2 plus 139 equals 180. And then I subtract 139 on both sides. I ran out of space, but I'll get the measure of angle 2 is equal to 41 degrees when I subtract that. Okay. All right. How about you pause the video right now and see if you can solve number 5. See what you can do to get those measures there. Go ahead and pause the video. Okay, so hopefully you had a chance to go ahead and complete those problems on or find angles 1, 2, and 3. If you want to check your answers real quick, I did show all of the work there. It's color coded so you can match it to the answers. You should have had 47 degrees, 137, and 31. So you might pause the video and check your answers now. Okay, let's look at number 6 together. So on number 6, again, we're going to be using some other properties to figure out angles and then also triangle properties. So let's start with really any of these angles. If you look at right here, this triangle though, we do have kind of a, you know, 2 of the angles that we know and then 1 angle we don't. So we can use the triangle angle sum theorem and we can say the measure of angle 1 plus 68 plus 61 is equal to 180. Add these up together here. That gives us the measure of angle 1 plus 129. When I take 68 plus 61, I get 129 equals 180. And then subtract 129 on both sides. Oops, that's 129 on both sides. That gives us the measure of angle 1 is equal to, I should use my head, that's okay, 51. So we get 51 degrees for angle 1. Now, we might write that in here in case it becomes helpful. I don't think it will in this problem, but you never know. Okay, next up, I notice that I have vertical angles. Guys, whenever you see vertical angles, just automatically grab the other one. So this guy is 61 degrees. That means this is also 61 degrees. They're vertical angles. Vertical angles. So I have angle 2 is 61 degrees. And then finally for angle 4, or sorry, not angle 4, but angle 3, I have another triangle that I can work within. So if I highlight this guy here, oops, that is not the color I needed. Okay, that pink triangle right there. I have that the measure of angle 3, the one I want, plus 90 degrees. Remember that box is 90, plus angle 2, which we know is 61 degrees, equals 180 degrees. Well, 90 plus 61 is going to give us 151 degrees. So the measure of angle 3 equals 151. Nope, that's wrong. Don't write that. The measure of angle 3 plus 151 equals 180. Then subtract 151 on both sides. We get the measure of angle 3 is equal to 29 degrees. Okay. All right, so this one's going to be a little bit more complicated. It says that segment BC bisects angle ACD. Remember, read the directions when you're in geometry. The directions have hints, stuff we can't miss. So BC is bisecting angle ACD. So here's angle ACD. It's this angle right here. BC is bisecting it. That means that this angle, big angle C, is cut in half by this segment. So angle 2 and 3 must be the same measure. I should go ahead and mark that. Those have to be equal to each other because, again, the big angle is bisected. Well, what is the big angle? Notice big angle C here has a box. It's 90 degrees. So for angle 1 and angle 2, I'm going to divide 90 by 2 because 90 was cut in half. It was bisected. So I'm going to take 90 divided by 2, which is 45 degrees. So each of these is 45 degrees. Okay. And now I just have a couple of triangles I can work within. So I'll highlight this little dude down here, pink. Okay. As you can see, I know 2 of the angles. I need 1 more. I'm going to use the triangle angle sum theorem to figure it out. So I can state that the measure of angle 4, the one I need, which is right here, plus 83 plus 45, the angle I found, equals 180. Measure of angle 4 plus, well, let's see, 83 plus 45, oops, gives us 128 equals 180. Subtract 128 on both sides, so I do 180 minus 128, and I get the measure of angle 4 is equal to 52 degrees. Okay, and now I'm going to do the same kind of thing for the other triangle. So notice on the other triangle, I have 48, angle 1, and then 45 down there. So I'm going to take those 3 and add them and set them equal to 180 again. I'm going to do the measure of angle 1, the one I need, plus 48 plus 45 equals 180. 48 plus 45 gives us 93. So measure of angle 1 plus 93 equals 180. If I subtract 93 on both sides, I end up with 87, I want to say. Yeah, 87 degrees. So the measure of angle 1 equals 87 degrees. All right, let's see what else we can do here. So how about you guys pause the video and I want you to try to see if you can get, let's go with 8 and 10. See if you can get numbers 8 and 10 done. Pause that video and see what you can do. Okay, hopefully you got done with those 2 or got to a point where maybe you just needed to watch the video here and get some help with it. So if you check your answers here and you got them all, feel free to move along to the next video because I'm going to stop and move on to the algebra in a different video here. If you need a quick explanation, I can explain a little bit here. Hopefully on this one, you can kind of find, like for the orange triangle, I took 180 minus these 2 values, measure of angle 1 plus 75 plus that 41 equals 180. That gives you 64 when you solve it. Here are these 3 angles, angle 1, 2, and the 90 add up to equal 180 because they make a straight line. So I took 180 minus that 64 minus that 90, and that leaves me with just 26 degrees for that angle 2 right there. And then for angle 3, it's inside of this pink triangle. So I did angle 3 plus 54 plus 90 equals 180 because that's the triangle angle sum. And I got 36 when I solved for angle 3. 10 is kind of a doozy, so I'll go through a little bit here. Luckily, there's a lot of 90-degree angles in number 10. So like on angle 6, I actually worked backwards. I found each of those backwards here, starting with angle 6. So angle 6, I noticed that makes 90 degrees totally here. So I did 90 minus that 52, which gives me 38 degrees for angle 6. Then I went and grabbed angle 5. And the way I did that is I said, hey, this is inside of a triangle here. I'm going to take angle 5 plus 38 plus 86 and set that equal to 180. So I did that work right here. And that left me with 56 for angle 5. Then I went and found angle 4. So I noticed on angle 4 that 86 plus angle 4 gives me 180. So that work is right here. Subtract 86 from 180 and I get 94. There you go. And then I went and found angle 3. So for angle 3, it's inside this triangle right here. I just wrote my work in green in the triangle. I know angle 3 plus 52 plus 90 equals 180. Solve for angle 3, we get 38. And then for angle 2 over here, I noticed that, I already know what angle 3 is. Angle 3 is 38. I just found it. So I did 90, this big 90, minus 38. And that gives me 52 for angle 2. And then for angle 1, the last one here, I noticed I had this 90-degree angle. So I took 90 minus angle 5, which is 56, and that gives me 34 for angle 1. All right, why don't you guys move on to the next section of the notes in the next video.